This is BS. This is BS. Why are we here? I am going to call corporate.
Who the hell gave this guy a video camera? Welcome, I guess, into another edition of BSing with Big Nate. Good luck.
That was Red Calling with Torture here on BS and with Big Nate. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of BS and with Big Nate. I am joined by a lovely and extremely talented front woman this afternoon. Jessica, thank you for joining me.
Oh, no, thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. It's my pleasure. I first and foremost, I kind of want to talk about the single, and I want to say it's extremely refreshing. It's unique. It stands out. It's something that I haven't heard in a very long time, which is nice. I want to ask where the track comes from you guys for both emotionally and musically.
Well, yeah, musically, we all have different, tastes in music and musical backgrounds. I listen to everything. From new age to metal to hard rock to 80s music to traditional music. It's classical, whatever, and I feel there's a mood for every kind of music. There's an occasion. I have a baby. I love children's music too. It's just refreshing to have something, to have a background for every situation. The guitar player, he's a metalhead. the bass player, he loves Latin, jazz, and all that. So that's what you get when you have different musical backgrounds. Emotionally, the song is about all those mental health issues that we've been having lately. That's been like a second pandemic, and it's about finding that voice, that calming voice, that special relationship that can stop that torture in your head, you know. And it was really about the pandemic and dealing with those issues.
You know, and that's something that's really well depicted on some of the teaser graphics that are hanging out on your Instagram, your Facebook, with
Yeah.
the band and the red like smoke coming out. Where
Yeah.
I just, as someone who deals with graphics a lot, I really think it kind of captures the essence of the song, which is hard to do. I mean, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but it doesn't really fully capture the essence of the music all the time. I think it's fantastic. There's also a
Thank
video
you.
out that accompanies the track that I think is fantastic work. So I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, from the process to how everything worked out. I know we're just coming off the heels of a pandemic, and
Yeah.
getting stuff like that shot's a little tricky. So how'd the video come about?
Well, yes, it was actually made by our guitar player. He's a video producer, so he did everything. The pre-production, he did cameras. He got the bass player doing his takes, you know, and the editing and post-production. He actually put together all the graphics that we had on the projector, and it was the first time that we got to do something by ourselves, because we always had a video producer, a director, and all that. So we did it. It was February this year that we did everything, and it was really refreshing to have like 100% creative control on the video, and it was a really good experience. You know, it's a simple video, but I love it. You know, I don't know. There's something that it was made 100% by us, and I think I'm really proud of it.
I mean, that's definitely something to kind of a badge to put on your lapel, if you were. That's something to be definitely very proud of. I appreciate that mentality, because I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are in the band and you guys are the ones writing and making this music. So you know best of all what your vision is. Now that Javier has established that he can make incredible videos, is he going to do the videos from here on out? How would he feel about that?
I don't think so, because it's always good to have some input. And if we want to do a more complicated video with a background story and all that, but I think that now he's going to be more involved in all aspects, you know. But yeah, definitely this was something that definitely made us aware of his talents, because I wasn't aware how talented he was. And although he works as a video producer, but he does like a real estate stuff and all that, which is totally different.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he's going to be definitely a part of all future projects, video projects.
Now, I want to get a little background on Red Calling, because for some people, maybe the first time they've heard the sound you guys have developed is very unique. It's very you, which is good, because there's a lot of music that plays now that's very cookie cutter and formulaic and all the same, whereas you guys kind of like carved out your own little niche. How did, first and foremost, how did Red Calling come to be?
Well, it was back in 2010. We were friends and we were playing in this 7-piece. It was kind of a Latin rock style, because we all come from different countries. So that project lasts for like, I think we were together for like 2 years. And when they disbanded, 4 of us were metalheads and hard rockers. So it was a no-brainer, you know. We just decided to start with this project. And it was, we originally had a female drummer, but she was gone. She quit the band back in 2019. We're still really good friends. It's just you know, work issues and all that. So bass player, guitar player, me, we're original lineup, and we added Devin back in 2019.
And you know, of course, coming from, as you said, you've got those Latin influences, and you all kind of have your different niches. What is it like with your writing process? Like, how do you guys deal with like one person says this may work and you disagree or don't see it? Like, how are those types of discussions handled?
Well, we've been pretty lucky to have that chemistry as friends, as family, and as musicians, because it's really hard to get along with someone for such a long time, 11 years, and keep creating music. We just try to be ourselves. We're really respectful when we're writing. It's different every time. Sometimes Javier brings like, let's say, for example, with Torture, he brought this double tapping guitar, and we started jamming on top of that. Then most of the times he's the lyricist, but I wrote this one. And sometimes he just brings the whole song with lyrics and everything, so it's different every time. And what we do that probably makes us sound I'd say like different and unique, it's because we try to be ourselves. It's like when you're a painter, you don't want to paint the same exact picture or do the same art. When you're an artist, you try to express yourself in a unique way. And I really I don't judge those bands that have, as you say, like a cookie cutter model, that they just copycat or imitate whatever music that's already out there. It's just a decision, a personal decision, and we really try to be more artistic, in expressing ourselves, and there's so many sounds, there's so many types of guitar effects, pedal effects, there's so many sounds in a keyboard, why sounding just like another band? Makes no sense. But then again, you have the mainstream music, and you have the record labels. They're just demanding, okay, you got to sound like this. It all depends on how you want to be, how you want to act as an artist. It's really personal.
Yeah, I appreciate your guys' passion, and I think it definitely shows. Have you noticed? Like you said, it's been 11 years. Has there been, looking back, a noticeable evolution of the sound and how you guys interact?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a long time, but I want to make clear that it was the first 5-6 years, it was more like a hobby, and then around 2016, right after we released the full length album, we just decided to do things more seriously, and we started booking more shows and contacting booking agents and trying to get a record deal. But it's been, let's say, like 5 years of doing it like for real. So what was your question again? I'm sorry, I had a brain fart.
You pretty effectively answered it. It was just if you had noticed an evolution in
Oh yeah, the evolution. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yes, definitely. It was at the beginning. It was more like a soft hard rock. If you get to listen our album, it's a self-titled album. It's an old streaming platforms. You can hear a lot of really soft songs, like soft rock songs, and you get to listen to a lot of electronic elements too. Now, since probably 2017, we started using 7-string guitars, and now the sound is like more metal, is more aggressive, and I'd say that's the most obvious difference that you can tell when you listen to the previous material and when you listen to the new music.
You said something there that kind of stuck out to me. It is, for the first 5 years, or 5 or 6, it wasn't, it was just a hobby. What was it? You of course, at the time you said you'd put out the album, was kind of when you started to take it more seriously. At that point though, if you're working on an album, it is kind of taking it serious, but what was the trigger for you guys to like, okay, we've really got to do this if we're going to do this?
I think it was after we played a couple of summer festivals that we really got to, and when we started to open for national acts. It was around that time. It was 2014, 2015, we started doing that. And we got to do the things for real, you got to be like really responsible set up on stage like in 3-5 minutes, play like a 15 to 20, because that's how long you play when you're starting, when you're opening for a national act. 20-25 minutes. You got to have your roadie and have I don't know, an extra guitar if something happens with your guitar. So it was a lot of stuff, and we learned a lot in those summer festivals and opening for a bunch of national acts. And it was just like a natural step for us to take, to do it. And actually last year we were planning, at the end of 2019, we were planning to tour on 2020 to, support the new single, because we released a single last year, and, the pandemic hit and all that. So we were more like weekend warriors doing stuff, traveling during the weekends and stuff. But yeah, it was that feeling, that adrenaline that you feel when you're on stage. And we did that a couple of times in the summer festivals, and I would just want to keep doing it for the rest of my life.
I love that. So there's a video, there's the single, and I mean, I don't want to be a greedy fan necessarily, but what's next, guys?
Well, we have planned to release an EP by the end of this year. It will be, I think, like 4 or 5 songs, collection of 4 or 5 songs, and Torture and I Had It All, which was the previous single release, are going to be part of that EP. We already booked a show. We're going to start playing in August, have a show in Orlando at the Haven. If there's people from Florida listening to this, it's August 14th. And I just can't wait. It's been so long. I just can't. We actually, there's a bunch of bands playing in Florida already. But we're moving out, we're changing our rehearsing space. So we've been doing a lot of stuff, and it'll be ready by July. So we'll be out there by August.
Excellent. Now, so right now that August date is that set in stone, like going to be your very first date, or would you play one if it opened up before then?
Yeah, we're open if there's something before August 14th, definitely. Yeah. And if it's in Florida, yeah.
I always ask that because I've had bands say, all right, this is our deadline date, this is when we'll start. And it just seems arbitrary. So I was just curious what the approach was. I've also had bands say, look, we're just going to take this year off, focus on writing. It's like, but you took last year off.
Of course, I know.
So, like, what the heck? So
no, it's just that in our case, it's different because we had a lease and it's expiring. So we got to really move out and find a new place. So we have no options. And we have a ton of equipment, and it's been so long that we don't play live that we want to take our time to, set up guitars and, test stuff. And we just want to be ready.
I like it. All right. Well, Jessica, thank you very much for joining me. This has been Jessica of Red Calling, their latest single, Torture, out. Give them some love on YouTube. The video's there. Of course, you can find the track on whatever streaming platform you use. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, all paid and free streaming platforms.
And head on over to their Facebook, Instagram, give them a follow, give them some love. Thank you so much again, Jessica.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my